Shalev Nymark.
Yes, Brad.
Welcome back, I should say. Welcome back to the lockdown sessions.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Yeah. You know, the last time we put a podcast out, it had over 1,000 views.
Yeah, I know.
It's the most watched podcast of the whole series.
Yeah, I know.
So we had to have you come back because clearly whatever you said last time, people like to listen to. So you know the drill on these lockdown sessions. We look for learning. We look for how we feel about the future.
Yes.
The world is opening up. You've just had your second jab this week.
That's right.
So that means I've had my first jab. So once I've had my second jab, you and I are actually planning a trip
To Edinburgh.
Right. Now, when was this trip meant to happen?
On the 15th.
On the 15th?
Yeah, the 15th, remember?
The 15th of what?
Of November.
Yeah, last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was actually meant to happen in May.
In May, sorry.
We were originally going back in May, but we had to cancel because of the first lockdown. So it will be almost a year.
I know.
But the reason why I bring it up, Shalev, is because I thought it would be really interesting when we started talking about going away. I was thinking how you're actually quite well traveled.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you've been to quite a few places. So I was just genuinely interested. Like, what are the places that Shalev actually likes to travel? And when lockdown's over, what's he thinking is going to be like the first places he's going to go and visit? So where does Shalev like to travel? Let's start there.
Australia to see my sister.
Okay, and how long's she been living out there?
I don't actually remember, Brad.
Been a few years.
About a few years, yeah.
I'd have thought 5, 6 years, maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe as long as that. And have you been to Australia before?
I have.
And when were you last there?
Last year.
Okay. So before last year.
Yeah.
So the year before last? So the year before last? 2019?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it you like about it? I mean, apart from the fact that your sister's there, what do you like about traveling to Australia?
Well, I like the city and the country, and I like going to the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge and that kind of stuff. And I just really enjoyed going with my mum and that kind of stuff.
It's a long flight though, Shalev. I mean, yeah. I've travelled to Australia before, and that's a long ass flight.
Well, it's actually 22 hours.
That's a long time, mate.
Yeah.
How did you cope on a plane for 22 hours without going mad?
Really, really good. I was really good on the plane, actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
Just quietly watch movies.
I watch a little bit of movies, and then I just went to sleep.
Oh, you see, now that's a skill that everybody has.
I couldn't really. I just went for a bit of a sleep, and then I just woke up, and then I just couldn't go back to bed anyway.
Well, it's hard. It's hard on a plane. So, okay, Australia's number one on your list, and obviously you like doing the tourist things. What would be the second place?
New Zealand to
Right.
see my dad.
Okay, so your dad's in New Zealand and your sister's in Australia.
Correct.
They're quite close. Have you been to see your dad before?
Yes, I have.
So what do you like about New Zealand?
Well, I like the capital city of Wellington, which is because my dad lives in Pongaroa in New Zealand, which is where his new house is.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I want to go and see him again.
Yeah. So. Well, if you haven't been there since 2 years, I'm not surprised. And like, if you had to recommend places, because obviously I might want to go to New Zealand, but I wouldn't want to go to New Zealand to see your dad, because
no,
I just wouldn't do that. That would be weird. And if I was in Australia, I'd probably see your sister, actually, if I was in Sydney, right? Because I've known her since she was 7. But I wouldn't go and stay with her. So I wonder, what places have you been to that you would recommend other people go to? So when they're coming out of lockdown, what are your top tips? Your top tips for travel?
Well, my first one is that I've been to Barcelona with Paul.
Okay.
That was really good, wasn't it, Paul? It was really good.
You're trying to drag Paul into the podcast.
I have already.
Yeah, you've done it already, mate. Turn back to the camera.
Already.
But I'm asking you to get back on.
I have been to Barcelona with Paul, and then I've been to Berlin with Martin.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Martin is left.
Okay, so
left
back to Berlin. And Berlin's a great place, by the way. I've been to Berlin.
You recommended it to me before. That's why I did a whole project about it.
Right. I really like it. I mean, it's steeped in history, Berlin.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't help but feel it when you're there. And I'm interested in Barcelona as well, because there might be people here who are maybe moving to Barcelona, or people listening who want to visit it. I've never been to Barcelona, and I heard it's beautiful. Not least of all,
yes, it is.
You can get a boat from Barcelona. Do you remember Alessandro?
Yes.
So Alessandro lives in Ibiza, and you can get a boat from Barcelona, and in 4 hours you land in Ibiza.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could have gone clubbing, mate, when you were there, if you'd have only told Paul.
Yeah, that's true. Could have done that, Paul.
Shalev, in Barcelona, can you remember the places you would visit? I mean, why does it stand out?
So what was the question?
So what stands out about Barcelona that makes it memorable to you?
Well, I love going to do a bit of sightseeing and doing like going to see the cathedral, which was Sagrada Familia.
Okay, nicely remembered.
And what was that part we went to again? Okay.
But some lovely park.
Yeah. And the club that we went to as well, the jazz bar, wasn't it?
Oh, nice.
And the Nou Camp as well.
So you visited the Nou Camp, or the Camp Nou, as it's called by the Catalonians.
Yeah, and
what was that like? It's massive, right?
Yeah, it was massive, wasn't it, Paul? And Paul didn't actually let me get the actual book with me and Paul in it, because it was a 2 weeks.
It's a nice, Shalev, it's a nice detail. It's a nice detail. Look, talk to me about the Camp Nou a little bit, because you've been to White Hart Lane. We talked last time about you being a Tottenham fan. And White Hart Lane must feel so small compared to something like the Nou Camp. Did you feel that it was a big stadium?
Well, basically, I haven't been to the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Right.
Because I haven't been there yet. So I'm going to wait until the lockdown's completely over,
Right.
then I go
Yeah.
for
I was going to
Joel.
say you could wait if you wanted. You could wait until Tottenham won something, but then you'd never go.
Is that yours?
Yeah, that's my computer pinging.
Oh, see.
But you missed the joke, Shalev.
Oh.
I said you could wait before you go to Tottenham's new ground. You could wait until maybe Tottenham wins something, but then you'd never go. Look, I want to bring it back. We've talked a little bit about travel, and that's nice because we started talking about from the point of view.
Of course, Edinburgh as well.
Well, you and I are going to be going to Edinburgh, so I think that's going to be a good trip when we get to do that.
On British Airways, isn't it?
Yeah, although maybe we do, we'll put Rocky in the car and we'll drive up there as well. Might be a nice thing to do as well.
Well, instead of traveling,
instead of flying, maybe we'll drive and we'll go up with Rocky and climb up Arthur's seat with him.
And then we can do a selfie of me and you.
I have no doubt that will happen. Listen, I want to go back to lockdown now.
Yeah.
Because last time anyone, you talked about how you've been coping with lockdown, how you'd had quite a strict schedule and all the things you were doing. How do you feel you've coped with this most recent lockdown since Christmas?
It's been quite a bit of a, it hasn't been quite good as before because
what's the reason?
Because basically it wasn't the same without me going home and that kind of stuff.
Right, so you've not been able to go home to see your mum?
No, at all. No, not at all.
And how long's that been now?
How long has that been now, Paul? About a year.
That's tough, right?
About a year.
And when you say it's not been as good, how have you felt during that time, during this period?
Well, I find it a bit stressful and that kind of stuff, and not able to see my mum and that kind of stuff. And now my mum's moving to Bushy, everything will be different.
Well, you'll definitely be closer and she'll be able to walk over and you can go for distance walks, and actually life will become a lot more simple, I'm sure.
Yeah.
When you talk about that feeling, I know for me, there have been times where I felt quite cross with what's happening. There are times when I felt quite sad about what's happening, but there's also been times when I've been really quite happy and I've enjoyed things. When you look back over this last kind of year and this last lockdown, like what bits have you enjoyed? So not the sad stuff, because I think everyone's felt that a little bit. Yeah. But what bits have you enjoyed? Like what are some happy moments?
I've enjoyed doing learning,
right?
Which is I'm doing counting counting 1 to 20.
Okay.
Which is really good.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've been doing house in activities.
Okay.
Taking part on Saturdays, I take part in Jay's quiz, which is on YouTube.
Right.
And I've been enjoying sort of sort of like enjoyed helping the other guys with with
Has it gone out your head?
yeah
Help
Scrabble.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good. We got
I
that.
love playing Scrabble.
Okay.
I love playing ball games.
Do you cheat?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Have you ever cheated in Scrabble?
No.
I wouldn't know how to cheat in Scrabble. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you can, except to just make up words completely.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's great because you've listed there a couple of things which clearly have kept you both busy and you've enjoyed. So it's not been completely negative. I'm interested though, Shalev, because what happens when it is a bit more difficult? Like when you are feeling a bit more sad or a bit more angry, like how does it affect you? And then how do you cope with it?
Well, I think I've sort of like I'm not really sure actually.
If you think about a moment when you get frustrated, let's say.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you get out?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do get frustrated and I do get in a bit of a mood and that kind of stuff, but sometimes I would definitely would talk to staff and they will know what is on my mind.
Sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Because we don't always even know what's on our mind. We just kind of feel it.
Yeah.
And it then affects the way we behave. I remember, I'm going to laugh with you at this one. Do you remember probably the last time we were able to go for a walk before the first lockdown?
Yeah.
I turned up at your house and you came down the stairs and Shalev, you were just in such a grumpy mood. And I remember,
that.
We had a hug and you were a bit grumpy and you got in the car and you just didn't want to say anything. And you didn't speak, and I'm like, you're a bit grumpy. You're like, yes. And then I put on some Frank Sinatra, and within one song, you were singing.
Yeah, I know.
And you were out of your grumpy mood. I've got two quick fire questions for you.
Yeah.
Who's the first person you're going to hug once the lockdown rules are lifted and you can see people again?
My mum.
Easy. Okay. And who's the second?
My girlfriend.
Easy. Okay.
And so of course as well.
And of course,
you.
I can't wait, Shalev, for us to be able to hug. That's interesting. So your mum first, and maybe this answers the second question, because I was going to say to you, what and who have you missed most?
My mum.
Yeah. And
my girlfriend.
Right.
And you. And
so,
Dad.
Yeah.
And Adassa. And of course, Malcolm and Joel. And of course, everyone, really.
I think it will be great if you're able to see your girlfriend again, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a long time apart.
Yeah.
I imagine there'll be a hug there. Talk to me about Electric Umbrella and drama, Shalev, because one of the things I've had to do in business over the last year is I've had to turn all of my work into Zoom sessions.
Okay.
All of the clients I work with, I now work with on Zoom because we're not allowed into people's offices and we can't
Exactly.
travel, right? And I know how different it is when I'm trying to run a workshop or a coaching session with a client, doing it just, virtually like you and I are
Yeah.
talking. Like when I imagine going to drama and I've seen you perform with Electric Umbrella, it's very active, you're on stage, you're singing, you're playing instruments. What was it like doing drama virtually, like doing it on Zoom? Like, what's that like?
It was really, really good.
Go on, tell us about it.
So basically, I was doing this kind of like this scene. I had to do my script that I had to do my words that I had to do because my script was I was performing as Sergeant Smithy.
Okay, sounds like a good name for you. You got the right kind of haircut for it as well.
And my lines was murder on the dance floor, you see.
And so what, you're learning your lines before going along to the session, or you're getting the lines at the session?
Oh no, so basically when I'm doing my drama,
yeah,
we always have to come up with new like storylines, like sort of like that kind of stuff.
So it's quite creative.
Yeah, and with Electric Umbrella, I enjoy sort of like doing spotlighting and doing my own songs and that kind of stuff. It's really, really good.
I have to say, I came to that concert in Watford last year, just before lockdown started, when you were singing on stage.
Yeah.
And that was a great night. I mean, it was a really cool vibe, the energy. This group, Electric Umbrella, are incredible, I think. I instantly went and signed up and supported them. So you've not minded doing drama virtually then, and doing Electric Umbrella like online? It's not like got in the way of your experience?
No,
that's interesting. And have you had to do other stuff online that you would normally maybe like, because you used to go to the gym all the time, so I'm wondering,
that's right,
have you kept fit because you can't go to the gym?
Well, my fitness is walking around the block.
Okay, so you're getting exercise.
Yeah, and not Joe Wicks anymore. So I used to do Joe Wicks and I used to do Walking with Lucy, but now I think I've stopped that now, haven't I, Paul? I think I've stopped doing that now.
Well, Joe Wicks stopped, didn't he? He said he'd done his bit and he was going to let other people sort of step in after. I think he did it till the end of the year, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I haven't done it anyway. So.
And were you doing that every day?
Yes, I was doing that every day, and yeah.
What a great way to set the day up. And were you doing it live, like in the mornings? You were doing it every day. You getting your Joe Wicks in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool, Shweta. So you kept fit. You go walking, and you're still doing your exercise, yeah?
Yes.
How do you feel about a gym with all this COVID stuff?
A gym?
Yeah, going back to a gym.
Yeah, I mean, Mum's quite near to the gym actually, so I would love to go back to doing aqua aerobics again.
Right. So,
is that right, Paul? I would love to go do aqua aerobics again.
It's a good way to
yeah.
keep it right. Anything with swimming is, although I'm not necessarily the strongest swimmer.
Right.
And anything with swimming is going to be good for fitness.
Yeah.
Shalev, talk to me about like how you feel now thinking about coming out of lockdown. What are your thoughts and feelings as the world starts to open up a bit?
Well, I am really looking forward to go to Edinburgh with you and going to the hotel that we were going to go to as well.
We won't tell anybody that though. We'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
What about some of the places we'll go to though? Have you got those in mind?
Yes. We're going to go clubbing.
Shh. Okay, yes. You totally busted me, Shalev.
I would like to do that.
You'd like to go clubbing, yes. Okay, that's much better than we're definitely going.
Go swimming in the swimming pool and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the like a gym where there's sauna.
Right.
Steam room.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Jacuzzi.
That's what I was gonna say. Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Like
basically, you want to go to a spa. Real first world problems here, Shalev.
Yeah.
I
like to go out for dinner. I like to do all the things I would like to do in Edinburgh, which I would like to go to. You know, there's the watch a bit of rugby or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure that time of year we'll have any rugby on, but
I'll see.
So
there's rugby at the moment. There's
well, it's just finished, isn't it? It's just finished, I think.
Oh right.
Yeah, because Wales won because Scotland beat France in the last game.
That's right.
Yeah. So definitely, you're thinking about Edinburgh. What's your what do you think people should remember about this lockdown? Like, what should be the lesson we've all learned from being locked down, do you think?
Just let's make it happen.
Well, it will happen. I love your enthusiasm for it. Of course,
that's what I said on the list, which I said let's make it happen.
And it will happen, right? The world will open up. I'm wondering for you though, Shalev, you know, when you think about the fact that for the last year you have had to do everything pretty much from, you know, the house, you're in the office at the moment in the house you're in.
Yeah.
But you've had to do everything from home. I'm wondering, like, you know, what do you think has been the biggest lesson? Like, what have you learnt?
I've learned. I think I've learnt all the things to do with COVID-19 and all the vaccinations and the and kind of like all the kind of able to go home and that kind of stuff to Bishy where my mum's gonna live, and I just think that it will be over very, very soon.
We've just got to hang on a little bit longer, haven't we?
Exactly.
I think it will still be some time, you know, before we're traveling outside of the country. I think that's a few months down the road.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to be able to think about getting on a plane again.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's your big hope, Shalev, for the future then, as we start to unlock and making it happen? What's your big hope?
Well, my big dream is to come and stay at yours again.
That's a very lofty dream.
That's what I was thinking of doing. So then I know we can do things that we can watch movies and Netflix or whatever you want to do, Brad. And then
I think that would be excellent. We'll do that the night before we travel to Edinburgh, won't we?
that's perfect.
Yeah. So look, one last question.
Like, I was thinking if sorry.
Yeah, you go on, finish.
I was gonna say if when you give me the date and that kind of stuff, and then I will say when I can come to you in a.
Shalev, that's logistic. I'm not sure anybody listening to this will really be concerned about how we make sure we connect the night before we go to Edinburgh. Let's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's leave that one in the air, just hanging, without needing to finish it. I've got one more question for you before we finish off today, and my question to you is this: do you think Tottenham are going to win the league?
Yes.
Oh, you're full of it. Really?
Yes.
What league? The middle league?
The Premier League.
Well, they're not going to win it, really, are they? I mean, I'm a gooner, and I know how rubbish we're doing right now. So, I mean, Tottenham, come on, mate, really?
Well, we are going to win it though.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Because I think Tottenham won't win the league, and I think Harry Kane might leave.
No.
What about a bet? Should we put a bet on that?
I don't think so.
Shalev, what's your message to everybody listening to this today? Come on. Final word goes to you.
So my final message is have amazing 2021 and let's make it happen with the lockdown being finally over.
And Shalev, if I build up a new podcast in the summer, we'll make sure to get you on and find something to talk about there. Shalev Naimark, thank you very much for being a second visitor to our lockdown sessions. Thank you so much.
That's all right. And also, is it gonna go on YouTube?
Yeah, we're going to leave that as a final bit, and it will go on YouTube, and we'll clip it with those words being the ending. Do you think Tottenham are going to win the league?
Yes.
Oh, you're full of it.